working with the Excel spreadsheet. See, Excel is a popular and powerful spreadsheet application for Windows. The OpenPyXL model allows our Python programs to read and modify Excel spreadsheet files. For example, consider this a spreadsheet. There is column address as well as row address in this spreadsheet, and which contain different sheets in a workbook. This is first sheet in the workbook. Here there is different columns A, B, C, D, E, F, and row address 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. Okay, and row address starts from 1 to maximum number of rows. Column address starts from A to last column. Okay, now here to work with the Excel documents, first we need to install OpenPyXL model. Okay, the OpenPyXL model can be installed by using command pip install OpenPyXL. And once we install, now we can import OpenPyXL by using import and then model name OpenPyXL. Now here, how to read Excel document. To read Excel documents, first we take an example of example.xlx spreadsheet. Okay, and which contains sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, and this is the data of example.xlx. A column contains date time, B column contains fruit's name, C column contains quantity. Row addresses are start from 1 to 7. Now, how to open Excel documents with OpenPyXL? To open Excel document with OpenPyXL, first you should import OpenPyXL, and then once you import OpenPyXL, now you have to load the workbook by using OpenPyXL.load workbook, and then workbook name is example.xlx. If you type WB, it displays type of this object as class type with the workbook, okay, which belongs to OpenPyXL. Now, getting sheets from the workbook. How to get sheets from the workbook? You know that workbook contains sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. This is a particular workbook. If you want to see a different workbook, you can see this workbook which contains sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. This is example of example.xlx. Now, in the given workbook, for example, example.xlx, if you want to get how many sheets are the different sheet names, you have to give workbook object wb dot get sheet names, which gives sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3 as workbook names. Now, if you want to refer sheet 3 of the workbook, you have to use wb dot get sheet by name and then in bracket sheet 3. The sheet 3 is the available sheet which is there in the workbook, and its reference is stored to object sheet. And if you try to display sheet, it displays worksheet and sheet 3. Then type of sheet. If you are going to check type of sheet, it displays it is of class type and with the worksheet which belongs to the worksheet. And then if you want to display sheet dot title, means title of the sheet dot title you have to display, and then print sheet dot title gives sheet 3, that is current worksheet, because current worksheet is sheet 3, like that. Sheet dot title displays worksheet title. Okay, if you want to get active sheet reference to another sheet, you have to use wb dot get active sheet command and then store the reference to another sheet object. It displays another sheet as of type worksheet. Okay, now getting the cells from the sheet. To get the cells from the sheet, you have to use first import OpenPyExcel to work with the Excel workbook, and then load workbook example.xslx, and then get sheet by name. Sheet 1 gives the sheet 1 reference as sheet, and then if you want to refer to A1 cell of the sheet 1 or current sheet, it is sheet in square bracket A1. Sheet is the object and in square bracket A1 refers to A1 cell of the sheet 1, and sheet A1 dot value gives value of the A1. Okay, A1 sheet means A1 cell having date and time. This is the value of the A1 cell. Okay, and then date time dot date time is the content of A1 cell. Then C equals sheet of B1 gives the content from B1 and stores to C. Now if you select C dot value, that also displays content of B1 cell, okay, which contain the value, okay, apple. That is nothing but B1 cell in the sheet 1 contains apples. Okay, and then getting cells from the sheets. Okay, we can get the cells from the sheets in this way. If you want to concatenate different cells or row addresses, see, row plus str of C dot row. C indicates the cell reference B1. Okay, C dot row gives column address of B1. Row address of B1. C dot row gives row address of B1. Row address of B1 is 1. Then C dot column gives column address of B1. Column address of B1 is B. Next, C dot value gives a value of the cell B1, that is apple. Now see, cell C dot coordinate indicates cell row address as well as column address of the C coordinate. Okay, that's B1. And E is as it is. C dot value is nothing but cell value apples. Sheet C1 dot value gives the content of cell C1 from sheet and displays the value as 73. Okay, C1 having the value 73. Next is, see, if you want to get the content by using cell method, sheet dot cell row equal to 1, column equal to 2 is nothing but the second row, first row, then second column. First row is 1, row 1, column 2 is B. Okay, gives sheet 1 dot B1. Okay, column 2, row 1, that is column 2 is B, row is 1. Then sheet dot cell row equal to 1, column equal to 2 dot value gives column 2 row 1, that is b1's value. Column 2 is nothing but b column, row 1 that is b1 dot value. b1 dot value is apples. Next, for I in range 1, 8, 2 gives I from range 1 to 7 in steps of 2. First I is 1 indicates row 1, column 2 indicates b1 cell dot value. Okay, I as it is display, I is 1 and then b1 dot value is apple. Next I increments by 2, I becomes 3, I value is 3 and then b3 dot value pears, I equal to 5, b5 dot value, I equal to 7, b7 dot value strawberries. To get highest row and highest column address of the workbook, we can use sheet dot get highest column. The sheet dot get highest row gives highest row address of the current worksheet. Sheet dot get highest column gives highest column address, that is 3. Now for example, in example.xslx, in example worksheet, you can see the data is available up to column C and row 7. Therefore, it's giving highest row as 7 and highest column as C column. Now, converting between column letters and row numbers we see. You know that the column address starts with A, and then if you want to get column letter as A, you can use get column letter of 1 gives A, get column letter of 2 gives B, get column letter of 27 gives A, because after Z next column address starts A. Next, after opening the workbook, if you want to get a column letter of highest column, then you can select C, that is of example.xslx. Okay, example.xslx. Okay, now column index from string indicates from letter to number. Okay, it converts the column address from letter to number. Like that, AA gives 27 because letter AA's index number is 27. Getting rows and columns from the sheets. If you want to get a range of content from the sheet, you can use tuple data structure. Tuple from sheet A1 to C3, because sheet is the sheet of example.xslx with the current sheet name, that is sheet 1. Sheet 1 reference is stored in the sheet. Okay, now from the sheet 1, if you want to get the cell values from A1 to C3, okay, cell sheet 1 dot A1, cell sheet 1 dot B1, C1, okay, A2, B2, C2 till C3, okay, it displays. Now if you want to loop through these cells, then you can select for row of cell objects in sheet A1 to C3, for cell object in row of objects. See, row of cell objects from A1 to C3 and cell object in row of objects indicates row 1, 2, 3. Okay, now row of cell objects nothing but A1 to C3. Cell object in this each cell object dot coordinate gives coordinates, that's address. Cell object dot value gives value. Okay, coordinate is A1, value is cell value. Coordinate is B1, value is apple. Coordinate is C1, value is this cell value, that is of A1 to C3. A1 A2, A3, A4, A5, A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. Its value will be displayed in this way. The output is in this way. Okay, because end of row is given here inside each row loop. Now, next one is, you can also get entire columns content by using sheet dot columns of 1 gives B columns content. Then for cell object in sheet dot columns of 1, print cell object dot value gives column A is all values, because sheet dot 1 minute, the sheet dot column 1 gives content of column 1. Okay, cell object is referring each cell in the column 1, and cell object dot value gives values of column 1, all values of column 1. Okay, there are 7 rows in the column 1, that are all values will be displayed. Either you can display by using sheet dot column 1, then it go on displays just cell sheet 1 dot B2, sheet 1 dot B3, just coordinates. But if you want to get the value, then you have to use cell object dot value. Okay.